Hi guys, so today I'm doing a complete full face drugstore tutorial from my brows to my foundation. Everything in between is from the drugstore. So I hope that you guys enjoy it and hopefully you're going to be a little bit inspired to discover some of the great products that are at the drugstore right now. As always, there's more pictures of the look, all the products that I use listed and everything over my blog, which I will link to below. If you want to see exactly how I got the look, a step-by-step tutorial, then keep watching. Alright, so first I'm going to apply my foundation. I'm using the Revlon Color Stay in the shade Nude, and this is a product that I used years and years ago and really haven't used it in a long time, especially since discovering my Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Plus. What I do is I just get it on my finger since it's not one of those handy pumps. It's the only thing I really don't like about that packaging. I don't put on a whole ton. Then I use a damp foundation brush. This one is a Sigma F80. It really kind of blends it in a lot easier. Well, not easier, but just shears it out a little bit but keeps the coverage with a damp brush. Not really, really wet, just slightly damp. I've been very anti-loose powder for a while now, so I use the CoverGirl True Blend. It's my favorite drugstore powder. I use the shade Translucent Light and just very lightly set the foundation. Just very lightly dab it. You don't want to like get a whole ton on your brush. For a base for my eyeshadow, I'm going to use the Revlon Smoky Shadow Stick and Torch, using the light side. And now moving on to the eyeshadow, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette. I'm going to use the green shades, which is really, really pretty for spring. I'm going to do a tutorial soon with the browns. But I'm going to start off by using this bright green shade right here, the second one. And I'm going to use a flat brush. This is an E60. It really packs on the color well. Apply that all over the lid. I'm going to take a more precise crease brush like this one. This is an E25. And then I'm going to take the color right below it that's a little darker. Get it right on the tip of the brush. Dab it off just a little. And apply that right in the outer corner. And then sweep what's left on the brush into the crease. Then for the lower lash line, I'm going to use a more precise brush. This is an E20, and I'm going to use the bottom shade. It's a little more brown. It looks almost bluish. When you swatch it, it's very like bluish and kind of frosted, like blue-green. But it's almost like a brown when you apply it. It's really, really pretty, and I'm using an E20 brush to apply that to the lower lash line just to kind of darken it up a bit. And then using a fluffy brush in that same color. This is an E40 brush that I like to blend with. I'm going to get that one on the brush, tap it off, and then lightly apply that to the crease. It's just going to kind of warm things up a bit. You kind of see how it applied a little more color and made everything look a little more pulled together. Then take a big brush like this, it's an E50, go around the color and make sure everything is blended out. Now I'm going to apply my under eye concealer. Sometimes I do that after applying eyeshadows that are a little darker, I think may have a little bit of fallout. This is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, my much loved one that I need to retire. And I blend that in with a brush like this. It's an F86. Then I'm using my L'Oreal Carbon Black Liner Intense, which is one of my very favorite liquid liners. Using that on the upper lash line only. When you get to the outer edge, you can make it a lot more dramatic by winging it out, as I've already done. But if you want it a little thicker, you can kind of keep building until you get exactly what you want. I want this to be a little more dramatic. For my mascara, I'm using the Telescopic Shocking Extensions from L'Oreal. I really have been liking this. It's very lengthening. I don't notice a lot of little extension fibers, which is kind of what I was hoping for. I wanted it to be like really crazy and thick, which I don't really find that it's that thickening, and I don't really find that there's a lot of little fibers, but the mascara is really, really good. See? It kind of builds quickly, and sometimes these little plastic brushes are hard to get used to. But overall, the mascara is very good. You can see how lengthening it is, so it's really good stuff. For the brows, I'm using the Revlon Brow Fantasy in Dark Blonde. It's a pencil and brow gel on one end, and I just take any kind of brow comb like this and comb my brows first. Then I go around the top where there might be little gaps, so you want to smooth it from the top. That's what I like to do. Then accentuate the arch from the top. Fill in the tail if you need to. And fill in anything in between. I want to use the less product on the middle. I use the brow gel on the other end. I use it very sparingly because the worst, especially if it's a tinted brow gel, is to look like you've used too much. So I just kind of lightly comb my brows upward and then smooth whatever's sticking up at the top. So I come up and back and then just kind of smooth what's on the top. For my blush, I'm going to use the Maybelline Dream Bouncy Blush in Candy Coral. I absolutely hated these things the first time I tried them, and I've really kind of fallen in love with them after giving this one a shot. They're the most bizarre things, and I really just want to like smush my finger into all of them. It's like a soft texture, like cream powder. Really strange. So you can apply it with your fingers. I like to apply it with a synthetic brush. This is an F40 from the Bunny collection. You can use anything, like this one would be great too, like an F84. It's really, really dense. But I get it in the product and it transfers really well. And I apply it right to the apples of my cheeks. This is a fun color. It's really bright, but it's not too dark. So really bright and pretty. I love it. For a look like this with like green and then a coral cheek, usually I would use something like, I almost use this, the Revlon Pink Truffle, which is a darker sort of like, you know, rosy berry shade, or like a natural rosy shade. But then I decided, you know, it's spring, I want to do something fun. So I'm going to use this shade. It's from the Maybelline Vivid. It's called Pink Pop, which I've talked about a ton over the past like month or so. It just makes the look a lot more fun. So that is it for my complete drugstore tutorial. I hope that you found it helpful, and hopefully you're inspired to go save a little bit of money and discover some of the great products that are out at the drugstore. So if you guys enjoyed it, and I will talk to you all very soon. Bye!